one. Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Balls. I'm your host, Neil Adams, and joined, as always, are my lovely co-hosts in Curtis, Abbeigh, and Rob. How are you, folks?
Good evening.
That's lovely wee merch you've got there. Just had to say there, guys. What's that there you're wearing?
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
hang on. Oh, I need to get it at the right angle. There we go.
Oh, Jesus, that's yeah. So if anyone wants any merch, just go on to Football America UK. We're selling some.
And if you want burgers, go to High Burger as well.
Yes. As you can see my hat, we are sponsored by High Burger. High Burger does the best burgers in the world. Joining us this week are the 49ers Irish Faithful Fan Club, Marc and Collie. How are you, gents?
All good in the hood, lads and ladies. Excited about what's going to happen this weekend.
I tell you this, the nerves have started to kick in. Right as I'm about to speak, not about the show, but now thinking more about the game. The reality of it is set. The reality of it now is setting in. It was the last 3 weeks have been pretty eventful.
I would say they have been, for more than anybody in this podcast, anyway. It's been eventful. Well, maybe Curtis is a Tampa Bay Bucks fan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We got a wee run.
Out of all of us, he was the last person we thought we were going to see in there.
I got to see them deck on the Eagles, which was highlight of the season, to be fair.
To be fair, I got to see Zach Wilson do that, so that's not nothing to brag about.
You always somehow bring the Jets up. No one gives a shit.
That's how I bring them in, mate. I'm trying to get a fan club started in Ireland.
Well, anybody who takes a big high dive on top of the Eagles is all right with me anyway, and I'd say all right with any 49ers fan. They're slightly hated individuals. Probably saying
the 49ers has been my Super Bowl team, guys, just to let you know, because
the 49ers haven't been your Super Bowl team. You have a man crush on Christian McCaffrey. You don't have the 49ers crush, you have a Christian McCaffrey crush.
He's been my favorite player from I started watching the league properly, so
in fairness, I was watching a YouTube video the other day of Christian McCaffrey's workouts that he does, and the guy is a beast. You should watch it, Rob. You'll really enjoy it.
Because he's half naked in them sometimes, Rob.
They were.
I was gonna make a worse joke there, but I stopped myself.
I was about to do the same, but we can test the waters.
No, you tore away. Whatever you want to say it. We're not that fancy.
I think the Christian McCaffrey and Juice little thing they did in the middle of the pitch the other day was frightening. I was like, I need to rethink my diet and my lifestyle watching them two.
What did they do?
The pitch, Christ. They
semi-naked
swinging ball clubs.
And where's this link, guys?
Where's this link? Rob needs to see this.
You might get sweaty watching it, Rob.
I get sweaty, good. I think it's fine. Sweaty thinking about it, to be honest with you.
He's into the fine list for MVP as well, isn't he?
Correct.
Oh, why? 100%. He has to be, doesn't he? Be finalist for MVP.
Yeah, they've released like the top 5.
Super Bowl or league?
Both.
League MVP.
I fancied him earlier on, just like Rob.
Rob's fancied him for a while too.
Yeah, to be the superstar at the start of the year. So yeah, I'm hopeful on. It's a Thursday night. They announced the Offensive Player of the Year award and the Player of the Year award.
Yeah.
So we're all hoping to wake up on Friday morning with a 49 or at least winning one of the awards.
Well, yeah, there's a reason behind why I love him so much. It's not the way he looks, guys, I promise. It's because the first every year I played fantasy football, I got the first round pick, and I googled best players to pick up because it was a newbie, and Christian McCaffrey obviously was one of the guys that came up, and that year he scored me like 350 points or something like that. Yeah, and then that was where the man, the crush started.
So, you could have picked up David Johnson, and where would you be now?
Exactly. So, guys, tell us about your fan club. Where did it come from? How did you get it? What's the crack? How's it going? Tell us a wee bit of information about it for any 49ers fans here in Ireland and UK.
Yeah.
So, Collie, you go on.
Yeah. So I was sitting at home in January 2022. The Niners were playing the Cowboys in a divisional game, and it was one of the it was a late night game. So Dak Prescott with 16 seconds left should have thrown it, ran it. The refs got in the way. Dallas was going mad. Niners were cheering it, so on. And I'm jumping around the sitting room at 2:30 in the morning. I have 2 young kids. Silent celebrations. Socks are on. The loud cheers, but nothing coming out. And I'm sitting there going, or just thinking to myself throughout the games, there has to be other people in Ireland that support the Niners who are going through the exact same thing that I'm going through. So after they won the game, the next day I set up a Twitter, just checked on Twitter to see if there's any groups. Didn't see any fan clubs. Was never an intention to set up a fan club. It was more one just to bring 49ers fans in Ireland together in a group.
Yeah.
You know, link up, share experiences of the games, whatnot. It just led to something bigger a few months later. After talking to Marc and Owen, we decided that we'd try our hand at getting a fan club together. What's the worst that could happen?
That's it.
And that's it. We currently have 80 members strong. We've had three meetups this year. There is a lot of stuff going to be planned now in the off season, but yeah, it's been a busy year doing this. And the Sundays or Mondays when the games are on are great crack. Now our social WhatsApp groups are absolutely flying, buzzing, every emotion that's going on throughout the game, every play. It's just brought them all together, and yeah, it's been fun so far.
Do you guys have a wee SuperBowl event planned, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, so we're gonna. It's not our own event, but we're our home is Buskers down in Dublin and Temple Bar, so we've got an area in Buskers booked out. We found, I think a lot of lads do have their own traditions because the 49ers have been, granted they haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time, but they've been there and abouts for the last, few years. So a lot of their own traditions, but I'd say there'll be a good number of lads there and girls on Sunday. So looking forward to that. That should be great crack. And I think this is our first year doing it. So from next year, we've quite a lot of plans going in the off season in terms of trying to get things formalized in terms of an affiliated fan club and whatnot with the team. So see how that goes. And look, I think as Collie was saying, look, we came together. It's actually nearly less than a year ago, to be honest, right? But in terms of how long the fan club's going, but on Sundays when we're not together, like if you're on any of the social channels, you'll wake up with around 1,500, 2,000 messages. Waiting for you the next morning with play by play, beat by beat, what happened. So everyone loses their mind. And it actually, to be honest, it's brought a huge group of lads and girls together and that lose their mind on WhatsApp on a Sunday night. And adds a lot of spice to the game, and a lot of slagging and look, a bit of crack. So it's a bit different than sitting there, similar to Collie with the kids up in bed and the wife kind of gone, I don't really give a shit about this, and so that's so. But look, other than that, great so far.
Oh, happy days. What was I going to say? So you wouldn't go to sleep or anything? If you went to sleep early, you would wake up with 1,500 messages?
Yeah.
A few spoilers.
Put me on Instagram. It's like you don't want to fall asleep because you wake up and then you have to go back through all of the stuff from your fan base, read it all.
I know it's mad, but so I need to know how nervous were you against the Lions? And how happy were you that Dan Campbell didn't kick that field goal?
Look, I do. I've had discussions with people now over the last 2 weeks about the game, and look, what were you? 24-7 down. Big thoughts on Dan Campbell and the whole aggressive how he plays.
Yes, go for the lead. Carry on.
If he was that aggressive, he should have gone for a touchdown instead of a field goal before the half. You're up by 2 touchdowns anyway. You go for it, you get it, third touchdown. Niners second half have to come out and score touchdowns in every drive. They settled for a field goal. The Niners came out and settled for a field goal straight after the halftime break. Then the momentum was swung. Fourth and 2. I can't remember the receiver. Was it Reynolds dropped the ball? Crowds pumped. Brock Purdy throws a zinger straight onto your man's helmet. Next, three plays later, it's a 1 touchdown game. Then was it Gibbs and fumbles the next play, and we're back to a tie game with 1 quarter left. And life's choices. I was beginning to debate life's choices at 2:30 in the morning when you're down 17 points. But in fairness, now we said that's what the group was for. There's a lot of elder statesmen in the group that have seen it all before, and putting everybody at ease. It's a 3.5 hour game. A lot can happen, and the team have been saying, momentum is a big thing in football.
Well, I actually went over to watch the Jets play the 49ers in San Francisco and bring the Jets in again, Rob. Yes, we were getting beat. I think it was 23-3, and I left before the last quarter.
Oh, I remember this story.
And so I went, you know what, that's it, we've lost. Like, we'll go catch the bus before anybody else gets on the bus.
Look, I can't believe you're one of those guys.
Oh, it's one of them ones that pisses you off, like when you're sitting there, like, and you're sitting there and you're the only Jets fan in a 49ers stadium. You know what I mean? And so I left, and the worst part of it was the buses didn't leave until the game was over, and I couldn't get back into the stadium. So I had to sit there and wait for everybody to finish. And not only did I have to sit there and wait till it finished, it went into overtime and the Jets won because the Jets came back. And I had to sit. I heard that a lot from my wife. And she's like, told you shouldn't have left. And I'm like, oh, I know now. You know what I mean?
I have that drilled into my kids. You can never leave a sporting match early because you never know what madness will happen when you leave. That is a mistake that I will never make again, Marc. Never again will I ever leave a match.
You pay your money to be there.
When are the Jets going to beat the 49ers again?
Never. Wow. not even if Aaron Rodgers comes back and he's a bionic arm, leg, brain, whatever. It's never going to happen.
That man's coming back next year. We're going to be in the Super Bowl. We'll be in the Super Bowl next year. Wait till you see.
Yeah.
Is that right, Rob?
Oh.
Are you going over to Levi's next year to watch the Jets and the Niners? Redeem yourself?
No, I'm definitely not going over there. No, but I might go over to New York now.
Yeah.
I might be at the Super Bowl next year, and then I'll see the Jets then.
Well, you could go over and watch. Is there a World Cup game there? That's probably realistic.
The 2026.
Yeah.
There's the World Cup finals in the MetLife.
Yeah. Right.
maybe more fun.
If that's the best game that you have to look forward to in that stadium, Jesus.
Yeah. I've seen I went over the Jets. I've been over the Jets twice. I've seen them play the Dolphins and the Jags. So, and we won against the Jags. You know what I mean? Nice wee rounds with Patrick against Blake Bortles. Brilliant game.
You got to see them get beat by the Falcons in London, though, so that was good.
Did I? Yeah,
that probably cost more. That probably cost more.
Yeah.
So the best thing about that was we walked in and it was pure Jets all around me, and I was wearing a Seahawks top because I'm a Seahawks fan. And every time the Falcons did something great, I jumped up and cheered as loud as I could. And he was like, "Rob, sit down." And I was like, "Fuck it, this is great."
Rob, no, you're not allowed to be a Christian McCaffrey fan if you're a Seahawks fan.
I am.
At the boat.
I just am.
At the boat.
I just am. Yeah. I know I don't want to go into it too much. We've talked about him enough. Come on.
Leave my Christian McCaffrey alone.
So I wanted to actually, you said Brock Purdy earlier on, and I wanted to see if Neil would be brave enough to slate him like he's been the last couple of weeks. In front of
I was literally, Rob, you read my mind, man. I'm just about to slate Brock Purdy. No, what I want to know is...
Ready, look.
Wait there, I'm getting right into the mic here now. And what I want to know is from a 49ers fans' perspective of Brock Purdy. Tell us what you think of him.
He's brilliant. So you can slate him all you want. Honestly, you can slate him all you want, but when it's come down to it, when their backs have been up against the wall, he's thrown absolute darts. He can place the ball better than many quarterbacks in the league that have been knocking around for years and years and years. And many quarterbacks that all of a lot of the kind of pundits have went, oh, this guy is this and this guy is that. Are they in the Super Bowl? No. Do they have massive rosters? Yes. They just don't have the quarterback like Brock Purdy is. They don't have it. So you can talk all you want and talk all the nonsense you want about him, but at the end of the day, when it's mattered, he's thrown darts down and he's hit the players. He's run the ball. He's what did George Kittle say? He scurried. He was scurrying along like nobody else's business when it mattered, and he's done it. So, yeah. So I think that's all there really is to say about it. Collie, you could probably add another few paragraphs there, but that's...
Go ahead, Collie. Add a couple more paragraphs before I go clean at this.
I'll add a sentence. He's our franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You think so? You wouldn't take another quarterback if you could?
Q Neil saying that Sam Darnold could do the same thing in the 49ers offense.
Do you not think that Sam Darnold could do the exact same thing in this system?
Well, he hasn't.
That's because they've decided to stick with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's doing the job. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo did the job for a bit until he got injured, and that's why Brock Purdy's there. And then Jimmy Garoppolo was go to a different system, and clearly everybody finds out he's shit.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's shit. To be honest.
No, I wouldn't say he's shit. Now that's maybe a wee bit of a
bit
too
hard.
much, but I'm just saying that I think that if Sam Darnold, who was he was a top draft prospect,
number one,
only for the Jets ruining him. Like, if he was in a good system, he could be a great quarterback. And I think that if Sam Darnold was in the starting quarterback, it'd be the exact same situation where Sam Darnold would be now, like, oh, MVP, he's great. But I think it would be more. I think people would believe it more because he was such a high draft prospect, and everybody thought he was going to be good, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but he wasn't. That's the reality, and I think we'll see Brock Purdy. Look, at the end of the day, we'll see on Sunday how he's going to be. Right? But he's proven it time and time again. Let's go back over the games. You know, he's had very few games where you've kind of gone, oh God, he's been a disaster. Like any team when they have all of their big guns out, and that's the whole point is the quarterback gets the ball to some of the bigger guns on the team. When they've been out, it's been a tough slog. You saw that in the middle part of the season for the 49ers. It was a tough slog, but again, that's the same for a lot of teams. But I do think Colley's got a point. I do think they'll franchise tag him. And I think there's another year before they need to do that, I believe. But again,
2 years.
2 years. So again, we'll see how that goes. If he stays healthy, if some other gobshite of an Eagles fan doesn't come down on top of him with 95 stone of him, we'll see how that goes. But if he stays healthy, I don't think there's many better than him, and we'll see.
He got to the NFC Championship game last year, then he got hurt, and he's gone to the Super Bowl this year. It's hard not to root against this guy. He was the last pick in the draft. This is why we struggle to see where the hatred is coming from I know across the pond, has the evaluation of like their scouting systems been thrown up in the air now? The millions that these teams put into scouting players in college, and you see this fella coming from Iowa, and this last pick of the draft, writing all the stories. This is what it should be. It shouldn't be, oh, he's a game manager. They should be embracing it and making this the story of the NFL. Instead, we have to listen to, is Taylor Swift going to get the flight back from Japan?
But do you think she will get the flight, though?
No.
I don't care. To be honest with you, I don't care. And I can tell you, 31 other NFL teams like, oh, here we go again.
I think it's all 32. I can't say, because I'm talking to a couple of Chiefs fans and they're like, oh God, if I see another Taylor Swift shit, I'm going to go mental. I don't think anybody wants to see it, but it's just the NFL they're showing.
I don't get the whole, I don't get the complete hatred. I don't understand why in the opening press conference they have to say, Travis, what did you think of her winning the Grammy, what that has no relevance to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I don't get the hatred she's getting, to be honest, but at the same time, there's a time and a place. That wasn't the time and the place to ask that question. It's a press conference about the Super Bowl, and I just, I do think it's ridiculous, and obviously you don't see it all the time. I think there should be more, Jason and his family, and they're trying to push that out. That's more that's wholesome content. We don't need Taylor Swift shoved down our throats, but at the same time, I do think the hatred is getting a bit thing. But obviously, I think the NFL see the engagement on it, and that's why they're pushing it out. Yeah. Because it's getting the engagement, and I think that's wrong in a way, because it's just they know they're getting hatred on it, and they're still just, oh yeah, let's push this because obviously it's getting press and everything, and that's wrong. There was no need. The press conference, just why?
If you saw Roger Goodell's press conference last night on the opener, a load of the questions were all about digital. What's going to get them more viewers? That's what's going to get them more viewers. Regardless whether it's sustainable or not, I think they're giving everyone else a bit of abuse over it. She's going to break up with them and write a new album about all of that, and it might go away, and a lot of the fans that maybe was brought to the NFL, will they still be there? Who knows? I'm laughing my leg off at it because I think it's ridiculous. They retweeted the Japanese embassy letter the other day about making sure that she was going to get from Japan to the Vegas on time. That's
mad.
So here's a question: as a 49ers fan, are you happy that's happening on the Chiefs side? Are you happy that's not your team, that whole circus is happening around?
I'm fine with that. Yeah. We made our own circus around our pitch this week. I didn't really. I read about it once, but it was that was funny. And in the group, it was Saipan all over again, But it was just. I think. It's fine. I don't really care, to be honest. All I care is that as much limelight is kept on them as possible.
That's what I mean. Do you think it's a bit of added pressure for the Chiefs then? Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I think.
Would you not prefer Kittle to go out with Miley Cyrus or something?
That'd be quite funny. But Mahomes' dad getting carted off the other night on stuff like that. It's probably adding fuel to all of that fire on there.
There's a lot of controversy around him at the minute, isn't there? Yeah. Was he arrested? No.
Yeah. But look, it is what it is. I think. Look, I'd be happier that it's on their side of the fence, to be honest, and as long as it stays there, and then when we get there, that we put some manners on them. I don't think they're not compared to years gone by. They are not the team they used to be. I think they're beatable. I think they're takeable. They have two massive weapons in that team, and we'll see how Mahomes plays with three fairly substantial beasts breathing down his curls. So we'll see how that goes as well.
We were talking about this last week. For some reason his name escapes me now. Is it Chase Young or defensive end? Yeah. Is there not talk of him being benched for the Super Bowl?
Limited snaps because Kyle Shanahan has a great word. It's called doghouse.
Mhm.
He'll put
Okay.
you in. He'll put you in the doghouse, and he has done it for Ayuk. He's done it for Danny Gray. He's done it for a few. I can't recall the cornerbacks, but basically you go in the doghouse for lack of effort, and
Yeah.
the lack of effort he has shown. Now there has been a few good plays, but lack of effort outweighs all the good plays. You can see it in 2 of the touchdown drives against the Lions. It was barely even a run towards the ball or even a tackle. It was so lethargic, and this isn't what John Lynch wants in his team. He's built this team to be strong, to try every play, do not give up. I don't think his contract's up at the end of the year. I do not think he'll sign with the Niners after the Super Bowl.
Well, it was when he was with the Commanders. I think it was the Commanders. The 49ers got him for a 3rd round pick, and Sweat went to the Bears for a 2nd round pick. And I was always like, I think we were talking about it, and we says, how'd that happen? How did Young go for a 3rd round pick and Sweat goes for a 2nd round pick? And then Sweat goes to Bears, balls out. Young goes to the 49ers and goes, you know what, I'm not going to go in this play. I'm just being a lazy fluffer. And then now you understand it. It's just like, I just want rid of that guy. Thank God, he's just a bad attitude. Like,
but they're paying most of his salary.
Yeah.
So the Commanders are paying still most of his salary for this year. So I think the 49ers only have to pay, is it 900 grand or something towards his? Sorry, 900 grand. It's only 900.
God, I know.
Only.
But wouldn't we all love if the Commanders gave us 900?
Yeah.
But I think but funny, they're paying him the same as they're paying Purdy. Actually, maybe even less than what they're paying Purdy. So, is it a big deal? He's still a big bugle, as they say, that can go in there and smash a few heads. But I think overall he's been average. I think he's had too many injuries, which is another problem. So he's had 2 fairly substantial injuries since he went into the NFL, if not more. So there's probably a bit of that as well.
Yeah, I think he was injured for near full season. 2 years ago, wasn't it?
He was, yeah. It's kind of like a low risk. What was he? A 3rd rounder. If he comes in and gets a sack a game or 2 sacks, and,
if he gets you a Super Bowl, you'd be happy enough.
Yeah, we won't complain. Yeah. Hopefully, he'll smash the right heads.
Yep. How confident are you going into this game here, gents?
Yeah, I'm like I said, as we first started, the nerves kind of kick in now when you start talking more about the game. I'm confident. Like Marc touched on there, the Chiefs are beatable. Their defense is very good. It ranks up there. I don't think they have conceded 30 points all year in any game. That's remarkable. But their offense, which is, in my opinion, it's hard to think that that's their weak link. That they don't score enough points. A lot of their games have been 1-possession games. This isn't the Chiefs team that have been blowing people out like previous years. They're built for close games now because their offense isn't as efficient as it used to be. Now, like I said, the defense is elite, but you can run on them. Yeah, and I think get back to the point that was made. I think we will beat them. It's a Super Bowl. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns the whole game. I think we'll come out probably 4-6 point winners overall, and I do believe McCaffrey will be the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Your last 3 games, you have won by 3 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong in thinking that?
Yeah.
We scored 28 and 34 points. The Chiefs, I think they've only scored 30 points 3 times. Sorry, and they've not given up a 30-point game this year. Sorry, I got them mixed up.
But if you think about that, and if you talk to or listen to any of the kind of press conferences after the game, were they happy about a lot of those performances? No. Did they have an absolute savage of a game in them? Yeah. If they play like they played in any of the first 5 games of the season, they will absolutely annihilate the Chiefs. Annihilate. Yeah. Will that happen? I don't know. And will Spagnuolo allow that to happen? I'm not so sure. But to be honest, look, as I said, it's a great redemption story of what I'd love to see happen. I'm not too sure I would, right? But if the Chiefs take a lead like we did in the last Super Bowl and then come back and beat them by 10 points or something like that and break everyone's hearts in Kansas City and Taylor Swift will make millions off it. She'll go off and write an album about them losing in the Super Bowl. But look, I think overall that's what I'd love to see happen.
But have you not came back the past 2 games as well? Yeah. Like, I mean, you were losing a good. I mean, I think Abbeigh, do you want to take the lead on the Green Bay Packers nearly beating them?
Don't break my heart here. Come on, you have to. You're rubbing salt in the wind because of my Jets comments.
Yes, of course I am.
Like, no, to be fair, like I've made my comments saying, do you know what I mean? Oh, they've got lucky in their games, but how many times should you get lucky? Like, saying that, it's luck 3 times in a row. Like, at the end of the day, they've come out on top. I don't know. Like, and my sister's
just means the Packers are not good.
Fan. No, look, at the end of the right, I'm going to make my Packers point now. End of the day, we started off. Right, I've got to make it. End of the day, we started off on an absolute shocker, didn't we? Let's be honest. People thought Jordan Love's a bust. All of this, and look how he's come out. He's obviously like, I'm going to say he's going to be I think he's going to be one of the greats. But yeah, the 49ers, I'm probably going to get stick for this because obviously they beat us and a lot of people are rooting for the Chiefs from our side. But I do think the Niners deserve to win it. I hope they win it. And yeah, I don't think they have got lucky. I do think, do you know what I mean? The push, like they've come from like you said, is it the second half they've sort of come back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Third, fourth quarter. So yeah, I don't know. I think they'll come out on top.
Yeah, and Abby, you are right. I think Jordan Love is going to be one of the greats. They've a habit of picking the best quarterbacks. Well, look at the last 2 quarterbacks. They're 2 of the best quarterbacks the game has ever seen. Granted, they're also 2 of the biggest lunatics the game has ever seen. You know, we don't need to.
Time will tell what Jordan Love comes in.
Can't argue that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. But he'll go off and become the next Pope or something. I don't know. But look, I think overall Green Bay got the game in the frozen pitch. God, that was a shocker from Green Bay. And then 2 weeks ago, whatever that was, I don't know what ended up happening there. They really actually had our number, I thought. But yeah, as I said, luck really doesn't come into it in sport, really. No. As a Dublin football fan, you know, we haven't got lucky once in any of the All-Ireland finals that we've won, so it's the same thing. But yeah, I do think we'll come out on top anyway, and it'll be great to see.
Look, if we do go behind to the Chiefs over the last 2 playoff games, been behind, not playing well, it does show that the team has a lot of character. So nothing's out of the question here. If they go down by 10.5, it's like, okay, these are the Jets. We've been here before. Steve Wilkes is fantastic.
Yeah, at least it's not. You know, it's not over. You can come back.
And that's it. And Wilkes is fantastic at making adjustments at half time on the defense. It's just a pity he doesn't do it earlier in the game. You know, Gibbs and Montgomery were running. He started second half. He started bringing men into the box, 8 men into the box, stop them from running. We could all see it. He just wasn't changing it in the first half. But then he did make the adjustments. The players got into it. They knew what jobs they had to do, and you know they came out on top in a fantastic victory.
I think we've all been sort of saying, well, maybe not all of us, but that we haven't seen the Chiefs. Chiefs have just barely won their games. They've scrapped their games. Have been scrappy. You know what I mean? They've just somehow won their games, but it's always just, you can't knock Pat Mahomes in this. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, somehow in the playoffs he just ends up beating the better teams. He somehow just ends up getting this win, and then he's in another Super Bowl, whenever before the playoffs were even there, we were like, "Oh, the Chiefs are out. The Chiefs are done against these. The Chiefs are done against this guy." You know what I mean? They're playing the Bills. The Bills are definitely winning this one. Going up against the Ravens, oh no, the Ravens is winning this. You know what I mean? The run game's too good, and then the Ravens decide to just freaking pass the ball for 85% of the time. And you're like, what the hell?
Like, no, Mahomes is he is a elite as they come. He's probably he's going to be the best. He hasn't been the best the last 3, 4, or 5 years. He's going to be the best for the next 5, 10 years. He is the way he can extend plays. Maybe he can run, he can throw. He's smart, calling audibles. He's the perfect package. He suits Andy Reid really well.
Yeah.
And what Andy likes to do. His offensive plan can. God knows what we're going to see, because I can guarantee on Sunday there's going to be 1 or 2 plays in there that they haven't played all year. They haven't done all year.
The merry-go-round.
Oh man, I can't wait to see something mad like that again.
You can't describe him as like how good Mahomes is, and he's. There is a bit of jealousy there. I know he went 10th in 2007. I know, and we picked who did we pick, Marc? Solomon Thomas.
Who's at the Jets?
He's at the Jets. We picked him third. You know, we walked into the season with Brian Hoyer and I can't even recall the backup. But
trying to think.
I
wouldn't know.
No, but that's it. Like Mahomes, he's and you can see even from the end of the
Mullins, was it not Mullins?
Mullins was there at some point.
Aye, he's at the Vikings now.
Late, wasn't he? I think he was later.
Could it be CJ Beathard? It could have been someone along those. But yeah, even watching Mahomes and his training regime and the Netflix, the quarterback show, you can see what he goes through every week in preparation for a game. It's just fantastic.
Or is it Andy Reid? Is it Andy Reid and Mahomes is just a game manager?
I see what you did.
Or is he just a game manager? I think he's just a game manager.
Are you at Cam Newton here or me?
You.
I didn't say game manager once.
What
did you think about Cam Newton's comments?
He's 34. He still should be playing, so he can go back to his podcasts.
Yeah.
Did you see what Brock Purdy read about it? Yeah, that was hilarious. Like he says, I may be the 10th best player in this team, but I know 80 other quarterbacks in this league, and he's not one of them.
Yeah, I think he just what's that saying? He needs to get back in his box. Like he is the actually. I'd nearly go as far as saying he's the biggest disappointment of a quarterback who's had time that the league has ever seen. And sorry, he was a special dude, and he just wasted it. He just wasted it. So he can just,
I think it's just one of those guys that believes his own hype and then thinks he's amazing.
Yeah.
Won't Purdy have the same amount of Super Bowl appearances as Cam Newton once Sunday's done? Cam was only ever in 1.
Yeah.
Sour grapes, maybe.
What is it? Sam Darnold's going to be the only quarterback from that year's draft class that makes a Super Bowl as well, isn't it?
You really have a thing for Sam Darnold. I think you should try and get Sam Darnold for your AFI teams. I genuinely do.
I have a plaque in my man cave with Sam Darnold, and that's how much I don't know. It shows a wee picture of Sam Darnold, a wee thing and all underneath his date of birth.
I haven't got to say this in a while, Neil, but Neil has a bar in his garage, and it's literally like a Hall of Fame of field QBs for the Jets.
I have who do I have? I have Tebow, Geno Smith, who's now not field, mate. So what are you talking about?
Well,
you're right. He does his job at the Seahawks.
We'll see.
Mark Sanchez be there?
No, but I have Jamal Adams.
Also at the Seahawks.
He's now at the Seahawks.
You have a Mahomes jersey too.
I do have a Mahomes jersey, yeah. And who else?
Rob's going to have like a shrine of McCaffrey after Saturday. Oh no, Sunday.
I already tried to get a jersey, but it wouldn't arrive in time, so.
Do you know McCaffrey's mom has her own podcast?
Does she?
Didn't.
Yeah, it's called Your Mom.
Your mom? Is it a religious thing or is it?
No, it's like literally her and some other woman talk shit. Just
I'm here for it. I love that.
Actually, I need to get this now.
yeah, it's called Your Mom. And basically, she'll like interview her son and all, like when she's in the car and stuff, like, and then she has this other woman on. They just talk shit, like.
That's brilliant. But that's the best way to run a podcast.
That's what I say. That's why we couldn't call our show Talking Shade Podcast. You know,
Talking Balls.
and we're talking balls. Yeah.
That's good. This is the only picture I have actually. It's Jerry Rice up over Candlestick Park. So this is my pride and joy.
Happy days.
Hopefully I'll be having Brock Purdy up there after several Super Bowl wins.
You'll put Brock Purdy up there instead of McCaffrey.
And the new Tom Brady, I think somebody referred to him as this week.
Who did that?
I think the jury's still out in that one.
Who did that?
No, there's similarities. Both late round.
Are the same height or something, are they?
Did you ever see Tom Brady in person?
No.
Did you ever see a picture? You know Cristiano Ronaldo, he's quite tall. Well, Tom Brady is looking down on him.
Really? So Purdy's not the same height as him then?
No.
I think Brady's 6'6", just 6 foot, I think. But wasn't Brady a system quarterback for numerous years?
I think
with
that
Belichick? And that tag only went after he went to Tampa.
What is the tag they're going with? Because Tom Brady was picked so late, Purdy was picked late, Tom Brady looked like a dad bod sort of thing and all, and then everybody thought it was Belichick for a while, and then Brady leaves, and then everybody thinks it was all Tom Brady, and then Belichick doesn't get a coaching job, so everybody knows it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Purdy, who is winning games, but he's the 10th best player on the team, like.
Shows how stacked the roster is.
Yeah.
But you have so many weapons on there, though. Do you know what I mean? You have a great O-line. You have like the best run game in the league, and then you still got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, who is second only to Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
This year.
Juwan Jennings making one-handed catches. Best third-round guy to bring in the league. Use check. Catching balls on the sideline.
Use checks, misses, making jerseys and jumpers everywhere.
Yeah. Fruit of the loom.
Love that.
Yeah. You've got one of the best D lines in the league now too. If Chase Young pulls his finger out.
Yeah.
Best linebacker core, Greenlaw and Warner. Unbelievable.
And actually, what a big thing, and I wasn't too sure when it actually happened, but Hufanga is the 49ers' biggest loss of the whole season through injury. Biggest loss. That guy's an absolute straight up animal, as Green Bay will probably attest to. He smashed Green Bay several times, but honestly, that guy is a big loss, massive loss. You can see teams have really put the ball in exactly where he'd normally be. So I think he's actually the biggest loss they've had all season, and one of the reasons why they found it tough with certain teams, because he hasn't been around.
That's a big shout. We're going to we're going to ask for predictions for the Super Bowl off our lovely co-host, because I think I know who you two guys are going to go for. So I'm going to go Curtis. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, buddy? And don't be put off by us, them 49ers fans.
Right, I want you to do me a favour. I want you, if you can, to mute Marc and Collie here for a second. No, honestly, I just think when it comes to playoffs, Mahomes is just a different beast. He's just different gravy, and I'm finding it hard to see past him grabbing this game by the scruff of the neck and winning it. I don't think it'll be by much. I think it'll be by one score. Might even be just 3 points. I don't know, but I can't see past the Chiefs, so I can't. Sorry, guys.
Look at the disappointment in their faces. They're like, we'll get him in the long grass that way.
Here, I'm a Bucks fan. It's not going to be hard. Let's be honest. Like,
Abbeigh, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, it's like a head
And
and
you
a
have-
heart, isn't it?
You have to pick the Chiefs since the 49ers put you out. Like,
No, I know, but I still think the Niners are going to win.
Yeah.
I'm going with Niners.
Bang bang.
Niner gang. Yep.
I think we know who Rob's going to go for because his boyfriend plays for the 49ers.
It goes without saying, yeah. Niners.
I actually went against the Chiefs a lot this year, like, because I thought that they were very mediocre during the season. But I'm going to have to go for them now, lads. But it's only because, like, they just seem to just grind out wins. Your last 3 games, I think you got beat by the Rams. You won by 3 points against Green Bay. You won by 3 points against the Lions. So I think it'll be tight, and I think the Chiefs are just going to sneak it, because they've got that Taylor Swift bagging.
The Rams game was a nonsense game, though. Like, to be honest, that was as good as preseason game.
It was your backups, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you already had it won. Like,
Was Sam Darnold the
I think
person
they
to
had
do the
Sam
job?
Darnold. Yeah.
yeah, Sam Darnold, and then he loses the game. And all. You should have brought that up to me whenever I was trying to make a point. Sure, Sam Darnold played a game and he lost it. The fluffer.
Yeah. but that's why the guy. By the way, he's not a bad QB too. He genuinely. Would I rather have Baker Mayfield in there, Curtis? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what all he'll be good for after this season. Although he balled out, so that'd be.
You'd want Baker Mayfield as your backup to Brock Purdy?
Yeah, push the hell
Curtis
out.
wants him as a starting quarterback.
In terms of what we have available at Tampa, and in terms of what he done, like the job he did this season, yeah, I think I want him as our starter next season for sure.
Yeah, he should be, but I don't think he will be.
You don't think so?
No, I think he'll leave because I think he'll get paid somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that there'll be money available for him. I just hope we give him what he wants, because I think the fit was just really good. He's always found it hard to fit in somewhere, and I think we've been the team where he's been the best fit. And I mean, he dragged us again through games this season. I'd love to see him back next season.
Bring back Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. Sorry.
You're allowed to swear. You know what I mean? Yes, he would be a lovely wee addition to Tampa Bay.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
No, I would want Fitzmagic back before Jameis Winston.
He's retired.
And I hope I'd take him back.
He's a brilliant
amazing.
TV pundit. Absolutely class.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that guy. I can tell you who's not going to be a starting quarterback next year, and that is Zach Wilson.
Yikes!
Well, so the first 4 plays,
and it's so not his fault. He's another Trey Lance. He's just it's actually heartbreaking watching. Actually, Trey Lance and him watching those two going through the situations they've been going through has been shit showish.
Like, what happened with Trey Lance? I mean, you just give up so much for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know.
Brock Purdy was better. Brock Purdy was better. That's the reality of it. Is he outperformed him in camp. But Brock Purdy has saved John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan probably their job with the amount they gave up, and so therefore they're going to be grateful for this fella for the numerous years coming. And let's see, he might like he's still on his rookie contract for 2 more years after this year.
Yeah.
So we can pay players, and you never know, he might go down the Brady route and take team-friendly quarterback money to keep them competitive. So. Yeah.
And yet they were still going to try and get Brady in last year.
And your man from the Vikings,
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
See, I think Kirk Cousins is going to end up in Tampa.
Ooh.
I can just see that happening, you know.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before, and I would absolutely take him. But if it's between him and Baker, I'm still sticking with Baker Mayfield.
Would you take Baker over Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After watching
Look
the
at
season,
Abby's face. Abby's going, he's all serious.
After watching the season, he's
obviously
just
the Vikings. I hate the Vikings, but
Yeah, you got to take Kirk Cousins in that scenario.
no.
Well, it depends on his injury, what he comes back like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did his ACL, wasn't it?
Yes. No. Was he not the same
Yeah.
thing as Aaron Rodgers? He not his Achilles as well?
Oh, maybe it was his Achilles. They're
Because I
nasty.
knew it was a big thing about the turf. You know, the fake turf. Because of
Yeah,
that.
and here's another thing, and sorry, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with this, but they were going on, there's actually more people got injured on grass pitches this year than on the turf in the NFL. This is Roger Goodell was going on about that last night. But like, I don't know if any of you have ever stood on one of those AstroTurf pitches. Like they're manky.
AstroTurf's different gravy, like.
They're manky. They're manky. And I don't know how there still is those pitches. It's like if you play rugby on those 5G pitches, you know about it for like 2 weeks after playing on them. And it's the same thing with those AstroTurf pitches. They're just dirt. So I don't know how in all with all the players going, we don't want to play on them because we're doing our every injury known to man on them. But they're putting a spin on it again.
No, that's it. But gents, that's us for our episode. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
And
Thank you.
hopefully your 49ers do it and you can have a great night at Buster's. And
Thank you very much for having us on, lads.
no
Good boy,
problem.
lad. You know what? I want this tag doing it once.
Guys, if you are 49ers fans and you want to, and you're in Ireland, give these boys a shout. They are the 49ers faithful in Ireland. Is it 49ers faithful Ireland or 49ers faithful?
The Irish faithful.
So 49ers.faithful Ireland is the Instagram page, and the Twitter page is at 49ers IRE. So you'll find us there, and if you
Awesome.
ask nicely, you'll be allowed to enter into the WhatsApp Madness Brigade. So,
Damn.
so
1,500 messages every night.
Yeah, but hopefully not every. Jesus Christ, people's
Every game night then. Jesus, I would hate to be your WhatsApp friggin' on Super Bowl night, man. He's all at different places and all.
It'll be good fun. People will lose their mind. Anyway, thanks, lads
Yes.
and ladies. Really appreciate it.
Yes,
Cheers
thank
for
you
coming
very
on.
much for coming
Good
on,
luck.
guys. Thank
Cheers.
you
Enjoy
very
the
much.
game.
Yes.
Right, good luck.
See you later, guys.
Thanks a million.
Bye.
Cheers, lad.
Take it easy.
See you later.